What's up, everybody? I'm back on my cool down, on my treadmill, window open, sunny day out there, here in Florida, Central. And I got to tell you that I had a great time at church today. Um, we actually had a great service today at church. And, my pastor is being used. Um, he understands the times that we're living. I look up to that guy a lot. Um, he's a man that's being used by God, and he understands the times. And as I was there, I took some notes. I opened up my Bible, got it right over here. This is my study Bible. I opened it up, and I took some notes. I actually took some notes that came to my mind as I was listening to the service, to continue to help people, to continue to kind of like bring awareness to the people that, just let myself be used by God and by everything that's been happening. And the first thing that I wanted to say is, when we serve God, there shouldn't be any fear mongering. We should not be walking in fear. So I wanted to clarify that first. I don't walk in fear. But there's sometimes that we Christians just live on this cultural Christianity. We live on this thing that we learned for so many years. We just lived on these walls, enclosed walls of Christianity. And a lot of times, we just think we're right. I've been there. I wasn't just somebody that went to church. I had an experience with God. I was a Sunday school teacher. I was a gentleman's leader. I was the youngest leader in my church. And we went everywhere and we preached. And I was a translator from Spanish to English and from English to Spanish. And I did that with people that were well known, preachers and evangelists. So when I talk to you, I'm not talking out of desperation or emotion. I've made my mistakes while being a Christian. I've stumbled and I have fallen. I've hit myself really hard. There's no fear mongering in me. I know where I stand. And I also know that you, as a Christian, as a person that's being used by God, you got to step out. You have to step out of that cocoon. You got to go outside of the, and don't take it the wrong way, but you got to go outside of the realm of God. He's still going to be with you. He's still going to be your ground. He's still going to be your surrounding. He's going to be with you. But you cannot sit on a chair at the church or outside as a Christian and not warn people. And just sit and say, we shouldn't worry because God's got me. That's wrong. 100%. That's wrong. I used to be like that before. Stop looking at the stuff. Don't worry about it. God's got it. No, boy, let me tell you something. If something hits the fan, like the grid going down, and you're the type of Christian that you never got ready, and crap hits the fan, and you run out of water, and you run out of food, and you're going to say, God is going to do whatever he can to get me what I need, you may be right, but you're mostly wrong. Because you're supposed to move, and you're supposed to warn people, and you're supposed to help people outside of the God realm. That's what you're here for, to serve. You're not just here to serve God. God doesn't need to be served. I'm going to say it again. God don't need to be served. He's too powerful. He don't need me. He don't need you. He can do whatever he wants. So, I made a post that said something in the lines of, there's come a time now that people that are really into church, the leaders, they think that God cannot use somebody that is supposedly not prepared like they are. You're wrong. God can use whoever he pleases. So, you cannot tell me, you can't tell me that what I'm doing is fear mongering. What I'm doing is trying to warn people to get ready. And that's not just getting ready for an apocalypse, because you're going to be without food. That's getting ready. Get your soul ready to hope maybe one day when all this happens, it exits your body and you're gone and you go to where you're supposed to go. That's one of the points I wanted to touch. I wanted to get into the life of a Jew. And this is something that my pastor talked about today that hit it dead on. Something that I've had in my mind for many years, because I've experienced it and I've seen it in the Jewish community. First of all, I'm going to say, the Jewish community, the Jewish people are God's people. They're protected by God. It doesn't matter if they do good or bad. The Jewish, that right there is protected by God. It doesn't matter what you say or what I say or what I do. It's God's people. There's nothing we can do about that. That's just the way it is. History has showed it. That's God's people. They're blessed. That's it. Now, that being said, I have a lot of respect to them, and I have Jewish friends, and I've had Jewish bosses, and all that stuff. But I'm going to tell you this. Most of the people that I know that are Jewish, most of the people that are next to you that are Jewish, they're just following a culture. They're not there doing it because they want to do it. They're there because they're just following a culture. That's what they're supposed to do. It's like going to elementary school, middle school, high school, college, normal stuff. They don't care. It's just what they do. It's a cultural thing. Most of them are not, it doesn't matter. They just do it because it's a cultural thing. So it doesn't matter. They have to do it. But there are the ones that are very devout Jewish people. They're really in it, and they really study, and they are really in it with all their hearts. But for the most part, it's a culture. In the Christian world, it is like that to a certain extent. But we are more into what we do, and we do it because we want to. Nobody forces us. My mom could be the most Christian lady. It has to grow out of me. She brings me to church like my mom did, my dad did when I was a kid. Once I became an adult, they didn't force it on me. They let me find a way by myself. So there's a difference there. Where am I going to? Where am I going with that? You guys remember Pilate in the Bible. You guys remember Pilate in the Bible? The governor. They were turning Jesus in. They wanted to kill him. Then Pilate had another guy, Jesus Barnabas. That was his name. Jesus, our Messiah, and Jesus Barnabas was there in prison for a bunch of bad stuff, horrific crimes. Barnabas was there. The people were the Jewish. Let me stress this out again. The Jewish were chanting to crucify Jesus. Pilate never saw any wrongdoing on Jesus. He asked him questions. Who you are? Jesus told him who he was. Then stayed quiet. Pilate sat on his governor chair, and his wife told him, I don't want you to have anything to do with this guy. Don't do it. So Pilate asked the people about Barnabas and Jesus. And the people preferred to save, the Jewish people preferred to save Barnabas, the criminal, over Jesus for just speaking words. Those are the times that we're living right now. All these little riots that are happening, like people rioting for Palestine over there at the White House, put paint all over the gates, something that never happened in January 6th. And the only ones that caused a disturbance, it was not Trump supporters. It was actually FBI and all these freaking crazy people that were dressed as Trump supporters so that they can take advantage of Trump calling people to go ahead and protest the stealing of the election. Because now there's a lot of people that have a brain that understand that the elections were completely stolen. If you're a human being that has a brain inside the head, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, independent, a Republican, whatever you are. If you have common sense still, you know that was stolen. It's common sense. And I've been on both sides. I've been a Democrat, I've been a Republican, I've been independent, I've been all over. So, going back to Jewish people. While the governor went out, Pilate, and told the people, who do you prefer to be free? The people chose Barnabas. Pilate, because his wife told him that, and women have intuition, and they know. Women have more intuition than us. They know. His wife told him, I want you to have nothing to do with this guy. And Pilate grabbed water, washed his hands in front of everybody, and said, I wash my hands. I leave this up to you guys. You guys want to kill this guy? It ain't gonna be on me. It's gonna be on you guys. You guys killed him. You guys want to kill him? His blood is gonna be over you. You know what the people said? Don't worry about it. Let the blood of Jesus be over us. You want to talk about suffering? You want to talk about going through stuff? His own people turned him in. Then you want to talk about why there's so much suffering with the Israelites. Because this is a biblical thing. And even if you want to count it as not being biblical, this is a historical fact. It is in the books. The Bible's very clear about those provinces, those cities, those lands. They existed. They exist now. Israel, the kingdom of Judah, Edom, Damascus on the north, the king of the south, the king of the north, all that stuff is in the Bible. That's historical. That if you don't have to be religious to know that. Those are facts. God is going to punish those neighbors. Gaza is in the same thing. Gaza has existed. Gaza, when you look at the map, and you look at the kingdom of Judah, then you look at Edom, then you look at Damascus, all those places are going to be decimated by the power. Because at the end of the day, the Israelites, the Jews, are God's people. It is that simple. But we, the Gentiles, especially the ones from now that believe the unseen, we are blessed. And I got to tell you that the last thing I had on my notes was, you got to step out of the God. You got to stop shielding yourself. You want to be a leader? Stop shielding yourself. God is going to protect you. You're correct. But you got to help your people. You got to help your people. Because let me tell you, the leaders from back then, they were involved in everything. This wasn't just, let's pray to God and get on our knees. No. You know about science. You know about astrology. You know about everything that's happening around you. You're not going to hold an election, but you're going to help your people make better decisions. If you're the leader of your church from anywhere, especially the churches that I come from up north, and leaders that I still see on Facebook, I guarantee you not one of them has gone to their people to tell them, you gotta pray to God to help you vote for the right person to be there. Because God doesn't choose. God lets, we have freedoms. God doesn't just picks it up and does this. No, we, the people, we're supposed to warn our people. We're supposed to help our people. We're not supposed to just sit back and just say, God has me. He's powerful. He's going to do it for me. I don't have to worry, because if something happens and I don't have a drink of water, He's going to give it to me. You can trust your God with all your heart. But if He throw you a life vest and you didn't see it, that's on you. That's on you. So, I wanted to touch base on those things right there, because I know that a lot of you have it. You know it. You understand it. But we're living in the times that is not looking like the times that our grandparents used to tell us, Jesus is coming soon. I don't know what's going to happen. The end looks like it's near. No. These times are not like those times. These are very decisive times. And we cannot just sit back and just, because the destruction is going to come no matter what you do or what I do. But we can minimize the impact by helping people. Be prepared. And if it's our time, when it comes, then let it be our time. But we need to be prepared, and we need to help the people around us. And what gets me more upset is knowing that there's many leaders that are not helping their people understand the times. You don't have to preach it in the church, but you can hold meetings with your people. I would have called meetings with my people. I want everybody to come. And I will hold an assembly with all my people. And I will talk to people and let them know, what are your thoughts about this, this, and that. I want to help everybody make better decisions as the angel, as the protector. So, no fear mongering. I'm not afraid. As a matter of fact, I'm less afraid than a lot of the people that are sitting in front of thrones. I'm just worried about other people. I'm not, like Jesus said, I'm not here to be with the ones that are saved. The ones that are saved, I'm not wasting my time. When He was caught eating with the sinners, having lunch or something like that, lunch or dinner, one of the two. He was sitting with them and everybody was pointing fingers at him. What is he doing? Look at him. He's over there eating with the sinners. Why? Because I'm here to be with the sinners, to help them get better, to help them find a way. I'm not here to be just with my people, just being with my people everywhere I go. I'm here to find people and bring them. And my approach is not the approach of sitting here to preach to people and have a service. My approach is to make sure the people that need help understand the times and they understand what's going on, and then I let them know about God. You find your approach. But the Bible says very clear in these times, the last will be first and the first will be last. I'll take that as a promise. I'll take that as a promise. Because there's a lot of people that look at people like me as people that this guy, he's not really following God. He doesn't have, okay, fine with me. Psalms chapter 3, my favorite. Read it. That's my favorite psalm. If you want to read the Psalms tonight, read Psalms chapter 3. That is my favorite. I don't care what people think about me. I care to help people. So I wanted to touch on those things right there. Like I said, the times are tough. We're not scared, but we need to be vigilant and we need to help people around us. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm telling you right off the book, right off what I've known for many years and what I've seen. So, God bless you guys. Love you, and I'll see you again. I'm going to continue to do more videos, and I also have the podcast on Spotify. If you ever get Spotify, please follow me there. I'll be posting videos there every day. God bless you guys. See you guys around.